Hello and welcome to the 11th episode of Dead Flesh Retro Plays Fish by Magnetic Scrolls. My name is Chris, otherwise known as Dead Flesh Retro. I may have used that intro before, but I'm really running out of ideas now.
My name is Lee. I don't remember. I have the memory of a goldfish.
Ha ha! Oh dear. I'm looking forward to this one. Plenty of ideas to try out.
Absolutely. It feels like we have several leads to follow, avenues to swim down.
Clues to mull it over.
No. Yeah.
If you listen to this and enjoy it, please let us know, or even join a future live session on YouTube and comment while we're playing.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
So welcome to episode 11 of Dead Flesh Retro Plays Fish by Magnetic Scrolls. We're a bit short-handed today because Mike's not with us and Rosie's not with us either, although she might join in a bit later, potentially. And Svandis is here in body, or in spirit, but not in body, right? So those that are here, please say hello.
Hello, Lee here.
Hello, Woody here.
Hi, guys. Okay, so following on from last week, we died in the tower, and subsequently I went back to our previous save to try and see if we were close to a time limit, right? If it was a time-based thing or a location-based thing that kicked us out of the game. And sure enough, it's a time-based thing. So on the dot of 4 in the afternoon, 4 p.m., it throws us into the goldfish bowl of death, and that's the end of our go.
Right, the end of the world.
The end of the world, or the end of our mission, certainly, and the end of the world that Hydropolis is part of. I'd imagine,
as we know it.
As we know it, yes. So. Presumably that's the same thing that happened when we were thrown in front of a train. Now, I don't know if we happened to be standing on a platform when it ticked over to 4 o'clock, and instead of just ending it, it added the stuff about someone pushing us, or maybe not. Maybe
I think that was a lot earlier, wasn't it? Because we had to. It basically killed us because we hadn't gone to the principal's meeting at 10 o'clock.
Well,
that can't have been at 4 o'clock. That would have been the entire day.
I mean, it might have been. Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell. Because we went to the cinema as well, don't forget, so that lost us an hour at least. But potentially, we were killed then because we were in a place where an assassin could easily kill us, and the assassin happened to be in the same place. So maybe every time we're on a platform, if, say, Simon Tench happens to randomly arrive at the same location, he will always push us onto the tracks.
Although, does he have any reason to suspect us?
No, but someone does.
Although he might be, I suppose he might just be trying to kill us because we're trying to repair the machine, or we're in charge of the project. Or
well, yeah, at that point we knew nothing, or maybe just because we're Dr. Roach. That's true.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we arrived at the suspicion that Tench was one of the people sabotaging the mission, and perhaps we should invite him to the disco and see if he develops a tick and winks at us.
Yeah. He's definitely prime suspect number one, isn't he?
Definitely, yeah.
The computer terminal, and the fact that he's been on the computer out of hours, and
yeah, or certainly someone's making it appear as if Tench is the culprit.
That's true. Might just be logged in as him.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Rosie's listening, so she's playing along, even though she's not here. However, I did restart the game or restart from where we had the large warp, and I've gone through and got back to essentially where we were. So we have all of the items that we went and bought. We have the page from the library book. We've had the meeting with the principal, and I've saved it. We're now like past the point that I got to when I tried to replay this game a couple of years ago, so I've now started overwriting those save positions. So save position 1 is before, while we're in the goldfish bowl. Save position 2 is our current starting point. It's not quite the most efficient way of doing it, I think, but it's still pretty early in the morning. So I'm going to start by...
I was just going to say, what time is it? Because one of the things we were thinking about was if the water is draining away gradually throughout the day, whether if we went to the tower early, there might be enough water to reach the hatch.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We should probably do that first then, shouldn't we? It's 10:36.
Oh, wow. That was quick. So have you got all the stuff as well then? Did you go shopping?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we're on 290 points.
Chris, did we get the page from the book? Tear out the page from the book in the library?
Yes.
I just had a thought listening to the podcast that could we have said tear the page out carefully or quietly to not be noticed?
Possibly. I suspect that what we did is correct though, because that's what got us points. And I think that, just by virtue of the fact that as soon as you do it, you get kicked out with the page, I think that's probably the correct solution. But I think we should also try protocopying it.
So of course the protocopier, I got distracted by the fact that we kept talking about the 3D printer, but it's a teleportation device, isn't it? So it should teleport, hopefully, the focus wheel into the storeroom.
Ah, of course. Well, actually, it's literally one location away from us because we're in our laboratory right now. So we could just go, I think it's southeast, and try it.
Or go for the tower.
Or go for the tower.
Whichever.
Okay, let's go for the tower just to get there.
Just to rule that one out.
Early as possible, yeah. Okay, so put tatty card in slot.
Not the tatty card, it's...
Yeah, we're in our laboratory.
Oh, are we? Oh,
so we need to get out. We're in the corridor. On your marks, get set, go. 3 pairs of students tied together come rushing past you. It's a two-tail race, obviously a ploy to raise money for Rag Week. Then hordes of students swim by, rattling collecting tins. It's a good job they don't take Visa. They swim off.
That's like a 3-legged race, isn't it?
Yes. 2 tails. Okay, University Foyer. So I think it's north from here, isn't it? So put new card in slot. Okay, research wing. There's a crystal tuna here. You can swim up to the tower from here or pass through the metal door. So let's go up. Tower. Water must be evaporating fast. The tower is only half full. You swim up and break the surface to take a look around. In the ceiling high above, through the air, is a trapdoor, but there seems no way of getting there. You dive quickly back underwater before your gills dry out.
Okay, let's ruled that one out then.
Yeah, so no difference. South to research wing. Put card in slot. South. East. Put tatty card in slot. East. Southeast. Storeroom. There is a protocopier here.
Put page in protocopier or something?
Let's just have a look at the protocopier. The protocopier is a large box with a slot on one side and a simple on-off switch where you would expect one. Built by Dr. Salmon as a prototype device. While it is indeed remarkable, the university authorities took a different view for 2 reasons. The protocopier used so much power that fuel bills reached record levels, and secondly, it could only teleport in very small amounts of water. It was the downfall of Dr. Salmon. He was fired by the principal.
Well, we can but try.
Also, it says it used so much power. So we can turn the battery off and reduce the power down to 39%.
So the Battersea power station was the backup, wasn't it? So that if there was too much power being drawn on the grid, I would assume Battersea power station would kick in. So I was thinking that if we switch that switch off, it would prevent more power being taken should it be needed. rather than the other way around.
But no, wouldn't turning the protocopier on overload the main supply and force Battersea to produce, and it wouldn't be able to produce because we'd switched it off.
We
need to. No, we're not right now, but
right.
But obviously, it needs to be at 0 so that the door will open automatically, right? We need to swim through the door into the turbine room or whatever, where I'm imagining there'll be a part that we need, but we need to get it to 0 for that door to open.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So whether if we turned it off and then turned on something that used a lot of power, whether it might drain to 0.
And then the door would open, yeah.
Maybe.
I'm going to try taking the protocopier with us, just... It's too heavy to lift, okay.
It didn't say the protocopier was turned on, though, did it?
No, it's off at the moment.
Yeah, so if we tried turning it on...
No, but let's put the page in the slot. Put page in slot. The page is drawn quietly into the slot on the side of the protocopier. There is a humming noise followed by a whirring. The protocopier starts to vibrate. Then there's a loud bang, and suddenly on the protocopier there appears a focus wheel.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Wow.
Nice.
Maybe yeah, we got some points. I think we got 30 points there. Does that mean the protocopier is on then?
Guess so.
I'm going to turn it on. It is already on. Okay, I've just turned it off. I think maybe we should go and have a look in the power station now that we've turned it off. I mean, if they were so worried about the energy, why would they leave it on?
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Wait, so we're using a lot less power now, aren't we?
Yes. I think so.
So you're thinking that maybe if we went and shut the switch off in Battersea now, maybe it's not using the 31 or whatever it was.
Yeah. Maybe there's a different number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you quickly read the wall planner again, just for the letters?
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is letters, and it's filter, photon bridge, focus wheel, tuned crystal, and a suitable case.
Okay, and those instructions, the combination instructions actually did not include the shelf, which is bizarre, isn't it?
That's true, yes. I wonder if the shelf is just a red herring as well.
I was thinking whether if something could be combined with the shelf and then we left the door open, whether someone might come and nick it and put it in the in the second-hand shop, because we can't get the shelf off, but maybe so whoever it was that could lift the fish ton out of our apartment could. But
yeah,
don't know. Yeah, as you say, maybe it is a red herring.
Great, Chris. Last week when you were talking about entering Dr. Salmon's office, you accentuated a little bit the word shelved, and I wondered whether that was some sort of a clue. I'm like, it's reaching a bit, but maybe not.
Yeah. Well done. Well done for picking up on that. And just another use of the word shelf. I wonder whether this is a bit of an in joke that that every project needs a shelf for when it gets shelved.
That's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe it's completely unimportant, right? Because actually we know from that formula that A to E are the important things, and A goes with C and B goes with D. So the photon bridge and the tuned crystal go together. We also learnt that the photon bridge was Professor Salmon's domain. And so I was expecting to find something about the photon bridge in that lab, but there isn't. There's just the crystal tuner, which is the other part of whatever those two things make. But it also said you would have to ask Professor Salmon about the photon bridge. So,
what's the thing that's still in the device? The thing that's locked, that's used the lock screws.
Oh, something else entirely, isn't it? Oops. The stream accelerator.
Ah, okay.
So asking Salmon about the photon bridge is another thing that I think we should do. Asking Tench about shutdown. But also going and pulling the switch in the power station now that the protocopier is off.
Yeah, we could try that.
And also, I did wonder if you reduce, because Battersea runs the tube trains, even though it's like the backup for the main power station, it does run the underground. So if you reduce it to just 39%, maybe the tube trains run slower, which means that we would be able to get off at Angel and Barbican.
It's a thread to pull, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll give it a go. So, the one other thing I was thinking about was that in the alarm room, it made a big point about everything being white, and I wondered whether if we were dressed all in white, maybe it wouldn't detect us, because maybe it's detecting things that aren't white.
Okay, yeah. I haven't found anything that's white that we could wear.
No,
but
I know.
Yeah, well, we do. Okay, so where are we going? Where do we think we should go?
Battersea?
Yeah, okay. We could try tying the tie to the statue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a trick to see whether you've read the manual.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do that to the statue. That's so disappointing. Or founder, maybe. Tie to founder. No. Okay.
Can you actually wear the tie?
Yeah. We could try going south from here into the restaurant and see if that makes a difference.
We still won't have a booking.
No.
I did wonder whether we could invite someone to dinner that might have a booking or something, but again, who knows?
Yeah,
I think inviting Tench to the disco might also be something to try.
Yeah. I mean, I've just gone into the restaurant and there's no difference when we wear a tie, so I'm not going to try things out. Let's go to Battersea. Down. Okay. So we're in Angel, where we can't get off. Nope. Now I'm going to get off at Eelpout and go across town and then get on at Pickerel and then go to Battersea. But we'll go past the pub on the way, so... we could go to the pub and ask, seeing as we're here. There's also this stool. and everyone's here, look. So maybe I should just save it. Let's just save it there. And
it's really make a point about pointing out that store, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't take it, can you?
Oh. Don't do that, says Steve, or I'll ban you.
Sit on the stool and...
Okay. If you say stand on stool and then say sit on stool, it says you're already sitting on the stool. So, according to the game engine, we are on stool right now.
I can't remember whether we needed to sit down before we bought the snifter. We didn't. We just...
No, but yeah. I don't know what it's for.
One of the other things you were saying from the manual last time was that if there was a truth serum type thing that if you gave it to someone, they'd have to speak the truth, even if they were a Finn. The other thing you said was that there was a drug that prevented you from leaving the interface, and I actually wondered whether that might be useful to, if we took it, that meant that we didn't get thrown out of the interface if something happened.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Whatever that, I mean, yeah, the fact that it made this multiple reference to two different types of drug, I assume that we're going to come across one or other at some point. I'm going to ask Salmon about the photon bridge and see what happens. Oh, he says, I don't know anything about that. We're back into this again, aren't we?
Whether there is anything... Have we just used Salmon up because we got the ID card from him and then that was all we needed to do?
Yeah, it looks that way, yeah.
Did you want to try inviting Tench to the disco?
I could ask Tench about Shutdown. What was the name of the game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, or Hack. Or Terminal.
Let's try Shutdown. Simon Tench says, Yo, Roachy, that's it, fish. Lay it down. Ask the deep questions.
That's such a strange tone. Is this a deadly fin?
I mean, it's maybe fitting, right? They were hippies in the previous area. But it doesn't help us. Ask about Hack. No.
Or Terminal? I mean, he's not going to tell us anything, is he?
Oh, he says the same thing. Yo, Roachy, that's it, fish. Lay it down, ask the deep questions. I think it's a standard response.
Sure.
About password? No. Doesn't understand password. Okay. Ask Tench.
Or login?
Oh. Yes. Same response. Yo, Roachy, that's it, fish. Lay it down. And then it says you have to sit at a terminal before you can log in. So it's confusing the parser there. Go to the disco. Yo, Roachy, screams Tench enthusiastically. My main fish. Let's get down. What do you say? Meet there at 12:30? Without waiting for a reply, Simon Tench rushes off on his errands.
Wow.
And we've got 8 points.
What time is it?
11:35. We have just under an hour. Time enough to go to Battersea.
I guess we're about to discover that Simon Tench is not a Finn.
we could ask the others.
Oh, what, just invite everyone?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good idea.
Ernest Chubb says, sorry, I've already made plans for tonight. Anyway, Simon Tench told me you were going with him. He sounds disappointed.
Yeah.
Bream.
See, that makes me a little suspicious of Chubb, because what plans does he have?
Yeah, true. Or, I mean, I could restore and then ask one of the others first and see if they give us the same response. Maybe it's the first one.
No, we want Tench in the disco, don't we? He is our main.
But it'd be good to know if it's our choice as to who goes. I'm gonna do it because I want to know. I mean, we didn't get anything out of Salmon, so let's try ask Chubb to go to the disco. Ooh, that's so kind of you, sir, said Ernest. I'd be delighted to accompany you. I'll have to finish off some notes first, though. Shall we meet there at 12? Without waiting for a reply, Ernest Chubb rushes off on his errands.
Oh, wow, good. Well, that's very well thought then. So this is like Cluedo, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're testing a hypothesis here.
But they're at different times.
So if you ask Tench now, maybe he won't be so jealous.
Already made plans for tonight. Anyway, Ernest Chubb told me you were going with him. So it is whoever you ask first. And, I mean, it looks like you need to do it early because I don't know what happens if we try doing it after, like, 1 o'clock. And it may be that we need to try it out with all three of them to see what happens. So what should we do, fellas? Who should we pick first?
Well, we haven't tried Chubb, have we?
Yeah, we just did Chubb. Ernest Chubb.
What about
we haven't tried
Birdie?
Bream, yeah, but presumably Bream will give us a similar response.
Maybe a different time, although I don't know.
Maybe a different time.
All of the signs are pointing at Tench, which almost certainly means it's not him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Chubb is earlier. Do we want to go meet Chubb there?
I'm tempted to try both Bream and Salmon just to see what the response is.
Okay, go on then.
Do it. I suspect, Lee, that you're still right, and it's going to be Tench because that's all the signs are. But maybe it's leading us down the wrong stream, I guess.
If I was going to sabotage a project on a computer, I wouldn't be logged in as myself.
It's like you've tried it, sir.
I'm saying nothing.
It's true though, yeah. Well, I mean, especially on a system that you have to log into and identify yourself. Ask Bream to go to the disco. Yes, I've often wondered about those places, says Bertie. So many possibilities for studies of fish behaviour, seeing how far we've evolved, that sort of thing. I'll have to get my equipment sorted out first. I'll meet you there at 12. Without waiting for a reply, Bertie Bream rushes off on his errands.
The fact that the time is different for Tench indicates it's Tench.
Ask Salmon to go to the disco. What? All them flashing lights and all that noise? I can do that on my own with a few more snifters, slurs the drunk. Okay. Who should we pick then?
Well, I mean, Tench is still... All the arrows are pointing at Tench, aren't they?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's either that or Chubb is suspiciously following us around. Like, moving in next door to us.
It is a bit odd that Tench is half an hour later than the others.
Yeah, maybe he needs to go and get some ear plugs and sunglasses.
Do you know what? I bet that's not true. I bet it depends on when we ask.
Right.
$12. Yeah. Okay.
And so what time is it? 11:30?
Yeah, not even. So.
Hop to Battersea?
Yeah.
We're going to turn the power off and get to the disco and there's like no electricity.
That's true. That's true. So I'm on the train now. There's one stop, isn't it? Battersea, south, up. Ooh. Oh, I forgot to take something into account here. So it's 11:34. If I go north...
What the duration of the tour?
Yeah, after about half an hour, she returns you to the power station. Yeah, it's half an hour's gone.
So we missed the... Right, okay.
Okay,
let's not do that.
Pull switch. Examine gauge. Whoa! The important gauge shows the total electricity output of the Battersea substation. It is currently displaying a value of 1. Is that because we turned off the protocopier?
Yeah, maybe. So maybe there's something else we need to switch off.
The disco.
Because this is... Right, okay. So the overflow electricity now, there's 1 kilowatt or something that it's generating. And so if we can switch that off, the whole station will be switched off.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get on a train. Oh, okay. Did you see that? I just waited 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns before a train showed up.
Are you thinking because it's running more slowly?
Yep.
Did you want to? Because if you go to the disco now, haven't we missed? We've missed the meeting with Tench.
Maybe. Let's see if he's still there. We can always restore it, and
Okay, yeah, good idea.
Okay, so we're back at Opie University. I'm up. Steve swims by at top speed. I've been standing here for ages, says Simon Tench. Come on, let's go in.
That's funny.
Let me just check that I'm wearing everything that I need to be wearing. Yes, I'm wearing a tie, a watch, some dark glasses, and some earplugs. Okay. Suddenly, Simon Tench gets very nervous and drags you away from the entrance. I can't go in without a tie, he says. What will everyone think of me? He starts shaking uncontrollably. You'll have to get me one, he quivers. I can't swim anywhere right now.
Okay.
I just said give tie to Tench, and it says you can't see Simon Tench here. Let's have a look.
Where is he?
Where is he? If I go north, it says, I've told you, says Simon Tench, shaking. I need a tie. Let's try remove tie. Give tie to Tench. I can't see Simon Tench here. What the hell? This is like a bug. I've gone east into the foyer. It says, please get me a tie. I'll wait for you here, says Simon Tench. Give tie to Tench. You can't see Simon Tench here. Oh dear.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's more than weird, isn't it?
Looks a bit broken, but...
I mean, give tie to Tench is the right construct. We've given snifter to salmon and...
Tie around Tench? What was that thing about the statue? I mean, I know that Tench isn't here, but...
Yeah. I don't know where it thinks Tench is. It may think Tench has already gone in. It may be a bug. I mean, it says, yeah, I'll wait for you here. This is definitely a bug. Oh dear. God, that's really annoying. I'll have to see if it's a known bug and see if I can find a patched version of the game, possibly. Give tie to Tench. Thanks, but no thanks, says Simon Tench. I've just restored the game, I should say. So we're back in the pub. And I've tried giving the tie to Tench in the pub, and it says, thanks, but no thanks, says Simon Tench, returning the tie. I already have one just like it. I'm going to take the tie off in case that made a difference. And I'm just going to try it again, but this time without going to Battersea.
Yeah, getting there early, yeah.
Maybe it all got messed up because we were so late for the disco. Okay. So we're going to meet him at 12. I'm going to now go and catch the train.
Okay, so here's a crazy thought. So when you said give the tie to Tench in the pub,
Yeah.
he said he already had one that was just like it, as if he actually is the real Simon Tench. Whereas if the Simon Tench which is waiting outside the disco is a Finn, and maybe the reason that we can't see Tench there is because it's not really Tench, or I don't know. I mean, it does seem like a bug, but...
It seems very much like a bug. Okay. It's 11:41. So we're early. I do think that whole slow the tube trains down is an interesting one, though. was definitely had to wait longer for the tube after we reduced the power to 1%. Maybe it's already slow enough to get off if we reduce it to 39. But
did it spend longer at any of the stations?
No. Actually, it was just that initial one that took so long. The distance once we got on a train at Battersea to get to Opal University was normal. So maybe it's just that fewer trains are running. Which,
yeah, okay.
Which wouldn't help us get off, actually.
Do you want to wait 19 minutes?
Let's see if I can wait until 12. Time passes. You notice several students loitering with intent. One of them produces a guitar and then starts busking. At 11:58, you tire of waiting. I'll wait 2 more. 12. Here comes Simon Tench, clearly ready to shake his booty. Okay, so let's try going north. I'm going to save again.
Oh, right. You need to wait until he says, I need the tie, before trying to give him the tie, maybe.
Yeah. So I'm going to try going north. Suddenly gets very nervous and drags you away, blah, blah. Give tie to Tench. Thanks, says Simon Tench, putting on the tie. I feel quite presentable now. Let's go in. Okay. Okay. The dark glasses and earplugs provide just enough protection for the host-parasite interface from the flashing lights and heavy bass. You're completely safe, as long as you keep them on, of course. Simon Tench follows you in. Ah! Simon Tench screams and rushes from the disco. You quickly follow, just in time to see his body convulsing. There's a popping noise as something escapes through a warp hole. Then Simon Tench collapses. You slap his gills to bring him round. What happened, he says, standing up. I can hardly remember anything. But I did something bad to the project. Something about stream regulators, stream accelerators, stream regimenters. Go on, you say. It's terribly important. I can't remember, he pleads, getting delirious. It's not my fault. I really can't. I need a shower. I feel dirty. He rushes off before you can stop him.
And we got points.
Yes!
And how do you take a shower when you're underwater?
Yeah. I guess you need a filter.
I was actually fearing that the culprit might change with each replay. Like the combination, the lock. But I was like, please, no.
Wow, I'm absolutely amazed. Like, it worked. Well, we did a thing and it worked.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Not completely stupid.
Or we found out what the tie's for. We found out what the disco's for. I'm not quite sure what to do now with this information, though. Simon Tench obviously didn't pretend to be anyone else when they went and messed with the terminal. And he says, I did something bad to the project. Something about stream regulators, stream accelerators. I mean, we found out, didn't we, what the device was called, that's now in bits. But the stream regulator or stream accelerator is a thing that's in the device at the moment.
I mean, we have, you can imagine that we had a time limit to prevent him from finishing his sabotage or whatever, to uncover who it was and to do. So I can imagine that we have succeeded in that.
Maybe we should go and talk to the principal. Maybe the principal's office is open now. We're back outside, by the way.
Well, yeah, it's just over there, isn't it?
Yeah. No, the principal's not available at the moment.
Looking at the list of items, we don't have the filter or the photon bridge yet, do we?
No.
We haven't even seen them, have we?
No.
The crystal is in the museum, but we can't get past the alarm.
Yeah. It's possible, of course, that we need to take Simon Tench out so that they can't sabotage our efforts to get those things later. So maybe this is a requirement,
So other things we were thinking of was to buy snifters for Chubb to try to get into his apartment. Is the case being delivered to Chubb's apartment?
Yeah, Steve said something about someone was going to deliver it if they could get the van or something, didn't he? I'm not quite sure what that was about or what time that would be. Do we need to be there to pretend to be Chubb when it's delivered? I don't.
Or get Chubb drunk and invite him back to his apartment or something. Can we think of anything else that needs to be switched off so we can get rid of that one?
Yeah, I was wondering about that. The only thing else that we can switch off is the terminal. Maybe. I mean, so here are some things we could try. We could go to Battersea and turn the power station off, and then get the tube and try and get off at Angel. Or afterwards we could turn off the protocopier and then turn off the terminal and then turn off the power station and see if the door opens.
It seems reasonable to try to turn as many things off as we can before we go to the station. Yeah. Because we're going to lose half an hour every time we go in that room, aren't we?
True. Yeah, I should probably save it here. Let's go back to save 3. I suspect that as we go through this, we're like adding things to a list of things that we need to do, and then we're going to have to optimize it all for a run through.
Obviously, the other thing about exercising the Finn out of Tench is that we can't now interrogate him with a truth drug or something, were we to find one.
That's true. Yeah. Good effort though, like we sent it packing.
All right.
I'd like to try the tube with just reducing the power to 39% and then go and turn everything off. Because there's 2 things here. One is opening the door when it's at 0, and one is slowing the tube trains down so we can get off. And I think they're 2 separate things.
You want to turn off the switch at Battersea first and then turn off the protocopier, or so that we're not at the station?
I want to go and turn the protocopier back on because it's off at the moment.
Okay.
If we go and turn the power station off, we'll be down to 1%. But I want to try riding the tube at 39% first.
I mean, it feels like the 39 is the draw on the power station, and we're trying to get it down to 0 so that Battersea itself gets switched off.
Yes, and when that happens, the door opens.
Right.
So that is what we need to do in order to solve the problem that the door is shut. But that's not the problem I'm trying to solve. I'm trying to solve the get off the tube train problem.
I think that'll work at 1 then.
I want to try it at 39, and if that doesn't work, I want to try it at 1.
All right, go on then. Go for it.
Do you see? But I just want to do it step by step. Yeah, we have to go back to switch it off now anyway. So I'm going to go and turn the protocopier back on again.
You wanted to see whether the terminal could be switched off.
True, that's true as well. So put TASI card in slot. Okay, so let's try that. Switch off terminal. You can't do that to the project terminal, so that's not a goer anyway. Oh yeah, it was me trying to switch the terminal on when it said it's already on, you need to sit down. But it's not true that means that we can turn it off. Switch proto.
Is there a light switch like in our apartment or something? Is there a light on somewhere?
There's been no mention. Okay, I've turned the protocopier on. Put TASI card in slot. Angel. Yelp out. We're going across Shark Street, Dace Road, Plaza, Pickerel. Back on the tube. Battersea. Up. Okay. Tour. So I bet at some point we're going to need to go into the cinema as well. So we're going to lose an hour in the cinema and lose half an hour at the tour. It's 11:10 now. And sorry, it's 13:10. 10 past 1. Pull switch. Examine gauge. It's at 39. South, down. Wait. Lots of weights. Opar. Angel. No. Can't get off at Angel. Barbican. Can't get off at Barbican. Battersea. Opar.
Was there radio playing or music playing anywhere or anything? I'm desperately trying to think of anything that's using power.
There's a radio case. The disco, of course, is powered. The protocopier is now off. So let's try getting off at Angel again. I mean, this may not work. Okay. No, we try to push our way through the doors, but it can't quite make it in time. So we can't get off at Angel either. Museum. Let's get round to Barbican. No. Whoa! Okay, I don't know what's going on here. So we couldn't get off, and I've gone round to Battersea and looked at the gauge, and it says it's currently displaying a value of 62. So is this a sequencing thing?
This is saved after having made the focus wheel, isn't it?
Yes, we have the focus wheel. Right, let me just check. Oh, where is...
No, you didn't pick it up.
No, it's still there, isn't it? It's still on the...
Yep. And the switch is off in
It's
here?
on. It's back on. Oh, in here? Oh. The important gauge shows a considerable drop in current. This is really weird. I'm going to have to go back and see what's happened here.
So maybe it just switched back on. So
I could have sworn that we did test out the... test it when it was at 39. Well, it's at 1 now. But I guess we still can't go west. No.
Have we searched that area?
There's nothing really to search, right? There's like a gantry with an on-off switch and the tube map and the gauge. But I think we should try getting off the tube again, because it's now at 1, and I guess before it had gone to 39 and then back up. Don't quite understand why or how.
yeah, give it a go.
What's There we go. South, down. Wait. North. Wait. University. Wait. Angel, south. Nope. Still can't get off. Museum. Paddlington. Barbican. Can't quite make it, no. Back to Battersea.
And presumably the power's back on again at Battersea?
It's up to 62 again. Right, okay.
It just switched itself back on again, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's happening. As soon as we leave the location, probably.
Yeah, so
switch.
We need to switch off this extra 1.
And then south, and then north, and then X gauge. It's still at 1. I wonder how, is it a timer? Wait. The guard enters from the south. He eyes you with suspicion. I told them not to put a switch in the power station. You probably turned off the supply to the underground. You look like the sort of fish that would swim to those sorts of levels. He throws the switch and leaves. Okay, so that's probably why we have to wait. Of course. We're sitting there waiting at the station, at the platform. Remember when I said, look, I had to wait 6 times.
For him to come and switch the power back on.
For him to come and switch the power back on, because the power's off and it's, you know, dropped low enough that the whole tube network stops. But then when he switches it back on again, yeah, it runs normally. So,
I mean, it feels like to me that we need to find this extra 1 that we need to switch off and then come here and then it will go to 0 and then open the door.
It's obviously important that it's connected to the underground. Like, freezing the underground is obviously an important thing that we need to do.
And whatever we need to do has to be done in 5 moves. So it's got to be close by.
Well, we can't go anywhere from here anyway, because we need the tube to go anywhere. So, it's a conundrum. It's also 8 o'clock, so I think we might have to call it.
Put our thinking caps on.
Yeah. I think we need to put a list together of all of the things that we still don't understand. Do you know, it's like every time we play, I feel like we've run out of things to do in many ways. Like we've either solved things or we've got like a bunch of things that we have absolutely no idea what to do about. And then somehow, like in the intervening week, little things dawn on people, all of us, and we kind of come up with some avenues to explore and some things to try out. So
I realized, Chris, last week in the beginning you said a reminder about the search function that I think we'd forgotten about. So are there any locations that we haven't searched and we've missed something?
It's possible, yeah. I mean, those sort of search under tended to be in places where there's quite a lot of stuff to search. But we haven't searched Salmon's lab, for example. There doesn't seem to be anything in it apart from a crystal tuner, which is a bit odd. Anyway.
Something to ponder for a week.
Definitely, yeah. Hopefully we'll be at full strength next week and we can get some more brains on it and figure some more things out. In the meantime, have a great week, all of you, and see you soon.
Adios.
Bye. Once again, we did some things and are now pretty much all out of ideas.
Damn these puzzle games. Still, it would be boring if it was easy.
It's true. Honestly, it amazes me every week that we make any progress at all. I'm pretty sure I spent hours completely stuck and frustrated playing these games back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's definitely one advantage to playing this in a group.
Yeah, it's like these games would always have been better played as collaborative group efforts. I don't think they realised their full potential back then.
Yeah, ironically, I don't think I ever played any of the text adventures with anyone else back in the day, but I'm really glad that we're doing this now.
Yeah, me too.
Until next week.
Bye.